Ryan slammed on the brakes so hard the tires screamed against the pavement. His eyes locked on the giant white sign planted in front of his mansion. Sold. He blinked. Once. Twice. Then laughed nervously. No, no, this has to be a mistake. Two movers carried his dining table through the front door. Ryan jumped out of his car. Hey! The men stopped. Put that back. One of them frowned. Excuse me? I said put it back. A man in a navy blue suit walked toward him holding a clipboard. Good morning, sir. Ryan pointed at the house. What do you think you're doing? The man glanced at the clipboard. You must be Mr. Ryan Thompson. Ryan frowned. Yes. The man extended his hand. I'm the closing agent. Ryan ignored it. Why are strangers inside my house? The agent looked confused. Sir, this property changed ownership at 8 o'clock this morning. Ryan laughed again. No. It did. No. The agent opened a file. The sale was finalized yesterday evening. Ryan snatched the papers. His heart stopped. Ava's signature. His signature. What? His eyes widened. This isn't possible. You signed the power of attorney 6 months ago. Ryan suddenly remembered. A stack of business documents. Ava had asked him to sign them while he rushed out for a meeting. He hadn't read a single page. His breathing became uneven. No. He shoved past everyone and ran inside. The living room echoed. Empty. The family portraits were gone. The piano Ava loved, gone. The flowers she watered every morning, gone. He sprinted upstairs. Their bedroom, empty. Her clothes, gone. Her jewelry, gone. The baby's nursery. He froze. The tiny blue crib, gone. The rocking chair, gone. The stuffed elephant he'd bought during her second trimester, gone. Only one white envelope rested on the windowsill. His hands shook as he opened it. Ryan, by the time you read this, the house will belong to someone else. Don't worry. I didn't steal from you. I simply refused to keep living in a home where I was the only one faithful. You spent last night building a future with another woman. Today, I chose mine. You will never know the pain of giving birth alone while wondering if your husband is alive. But you will know what it feels like to come home to silence. Our son is safe. I am safe. Don't look for us until you decide whether you want to be a father or continue pretending to be someone else's lover. Goodbye, Ava. Ryan's knees gave way. He collapsed onto the nursery floor. The empty room swallowed every sound. Then his phone rang. Jessica. He stared at the screen. Declined the call. It rang again. Declined. Again. Again. He finally answered. Jessica laughed. So, you've been ignoring me. Ryan said nothing. You should have stayed this morning. Still silence. Jessica smiled through the phone. I bought that red dress you like. Ryan closed his eyes. My house is gone. Jessica laughed. What? My house. My wife. My son. They're gone. Silence. Then Jessica asked, What do you mean gone? Ryan looked around the empty nursery. They left. Jessica's voice changed. Relax. They'll come back. Ryan laughed bitterly. No, they won't. Jessica sighed impatiently. So where are you now? Ryan whispered. In the place where I lost everything. He ended the call. 24 hours earlier. Ryan adjusted his expensive watch as he walked out of the hospital room. Ava smiled weakly from the bed. Hurry back. He leaned over and kissed her forehead. I just need to pick up a few things from home. She nodded. And don't forget my charger. Ryan smiled. I won't. She reached for his hand. I love you. Ryan squeezed it. I love you too. The words came so easily that even he almost believed them. As he stepped into the hallway, Nurse Monica stopped him. Mr. Thompson? Ryan turned. Yes? The contractions are getting stronger. It probably won't be long now. Ryan smiled proudly. I'm ready. Monica smiled. First baby? He nodded. She laughed. You'll never forget today. Ryan looked through the glass at Ava rubbing her stomach. I know. His phone vibrated. Jessica. He rejected the call. It rang again. Then a text appeared. Answer me. Ryan sighed and walked toward the elevators. The moment the doors closed, he called her back. Jessica answered immediately. Finally. What? You forgot. Ryan frowned. Forgot what? My birthday. Ryan closed his eyes. Jessica? You promised tonight was mine. I can't. My wife is in labor. Jessica laughed sarcastically. She's been in labor since yesterday. Ryan rubbed his forehead. Not now. Jessica's voice turned cold. You've chosen her again. I'm having a baby. And I've spent 2 years waiting for you. Ryan walked through the hospital parking lot. Jessica? No. You said after the baby things would change. They will. When? Ryan looked toward the hospital windows. I don't know. Jessica remained quiet for several seconds. Then she softly said, If you don't come tonight, I'll make sure your wife finds out everything. Ryan stopped walking. What did you just say? You heard me. You wouldn't. Try me. The line went dead. Ryan stood frozen. Inside the hospital, Ava smiled as she rested a hand on her stomach. She looked at Rachel. I think he's nervous. Rachel laughed. He'd better be. Helen walked into the room carrying 2 large bags. My grandson already has more clothes than Ryan ever did. Everyone laughed. Ava smiled. Thank you. Helen kissed her forehead. You've made this family happier than you'll ever know. Rachel teased. Don't spoil the baby before he's born. Oh, I plan to. The room filled with laughter again. None of them knew Ryan was standing in the parking lot, trying to decide whether to become a father or keep a promise to his mistress. Ryan stood beside his car for nearly a minute. His eyes drifted back to the hospital windows. Somewhere up there, his wife was waiting. His son was about to be born. His family believed he was downstairs grabbing a few things. He unlocked the car, then locked it again. No, he whispered to himself. I'm ending this tonight. He dialed Jessica. She answered on the first ring. I knew you'd come. Ryan sighed. I'm coming to end this. Jessica laughed softly. We'll see. 40 minutes later, Ryan parked outside Jessica's luxury apartment. She was already waiting on the balcony, wearing the red dress, holding 2 glasses of wine. She smiled the moment she saw him. I knew you wouldn't choose her. Ryan walked inside. I'm not staying. Jessica closed the apartment door behind him. Relax. I said I'm not staying. She slowly handed him one of the glasses. 1 drink. Ryan pushed it away. We're done. Jessica stared at him. Look me in the eye and say you don't love me. Ryan looked away. Jessica smiled. I thought so. She walked closer. So tell me, after 2 years, how exactly were you planning to end us? Ryan rubbed his face. I should have done it a long time ago. But you didn't. Because every time you cried, you stayed. Ryan had no answer. Jessica took another step. I gave you everything. My time, my love, my youth. And tonight, you were going to leave me alone because your wife had a baby? Ryan lowered his voice. That's my child. Jessica suddenly slapped him. So what am I? The apartment fell silent. Ryan slowly touched his cheek. Jessica's eyes filled with tears. I waited. I believed every promise. You kept saying, just a little longer. She laughed bitterly. There was always another excuse. Ryan looked genuinely guilty. I'm sorry. Jessica smiled through her tears. No, You're not. If you were, you would have never come here. Ryan froze. She was right. He had still chosen to come. His phone vibrated. Ava calling. Jessica looked down at the screen. Answer it. Ryan hesitated. Answer it. He picked up. Ava. Her voice sounded strained. Ryan, where are you? Ryan looked at Jessica, then lied. I'm driving home. Another contraction hit Ava. She cried out in pain. Hurry? The doctor says. She struggled to breathe. I think it's time. Ryan closed his eyes. I'm on my way. He ended the call. Jessica clapped slowly. Beautiful. Ryan glared at her. I have to go. Jessica blocked the door. No. Move. No. My wife needs me. Jessica smiled. Does she? She reached into her handbag, pulled out Ryan's spare phone, the one he'd left at her apartment months ago. She unlocked it, opened a folder. Hundreds of photographs, videos, messages. If you walk out, she held up the phone. I walk into that hospital. Ryan stared at her. You wouldn't. Jessica's smile returned. Keep testing me. Back at the hospital, Ava screamed. The contractions were now minutes apart. Dr. Lewis examined her. We're taking you to delivery. Rachel squeezed Ava's hand. You've got this. Helen kissed her forehead. I'm right outside. The nurses began rolling Ava toward the delivery room. Ava looked around. Where's Ryan? Rachel forced a smile. Probably stuck in traffic. Helen looked worried. He should have been back by now. Ethan suddenly rushed into the hallway carrying flowers. I made it. He looked around. Where's Ryan? Nobody answered. Ethan frowned. What happened? Rachel quietly said, We don't know. Jessica poured herself another glass of wine. Ryan stood by the door, his hands shaking. I can't miss my son's birth. Jessica stared into his eyes. Then don't. Ryan looked confused. What? She smiled. Stay. Tonight and tomorrow morning, you can go play husband. Ryan looked horrified. Are you insane? Jessica shrugged. You've done it before. Ryan stepped closer. My wife could die. Jessica's expression changed. Don't manipulate me. I'm serious. So am I. Ryan tried walking around her. She grabbed his wrist. If you leave, I'll destroy everything. Ryan looked at her hand, then slowly removed it. I already destroyed everything. Jessica's eyes narrowed. He opened the apartment door. She called after him. If you walk away, I swear she'll know every secret you've kept. Ryan stopped. Only for a second. Then he kept walking. Jessica smiled. Good, she whispered. That's exactly what I wanted. She picked up her handbag and followed him out. Hours later, the first cry echoed through the delivery room. Ava burst into tears. It's a boy. The nurse gently placed the newborn on her chest. Ava kissed his tiny forehead. Hi, my baby. She looked toward the door. Ryan wasn't there. Rachel lowered her eyes. Helen quietly turned away. Ethan clenched his fists. Ava forced a smile through her disappointment. He must be close. Nobody had the heart to tell her. No one had heard from him in hours. Dr. Lewis finished checking the baby. Healthy little fighter. Ava smiled proudly. Can I see his father? Silence. The doctor's smile faded. I'll send someone to find him. Just then, the delivery room doors opened. Everyone turned. Ryan rushed inside. His shirt wrinkled, his hair messy, breathing heavily. I'm here. Relief washed over Ava's face. You made it. Ryan looked at his son. Tears filled his eyes. He stepped forward. I'm so... Before he could finish, Another voice echoed behind him. Don't let him touch that baby. Jessica walked into the room, holding a thick brown envelope. Ava's smile disappeared. Rachel whispered, "Oh no." Helen's face turned to stone. Ethan took one step toward Jessica. "What are you doing here?" Jessica ignored him. Her eyes stayed on Ava. "I think every mother deserves honesty." She slowly opened the envelope. And today, she pulled out the first photograph. Is the perfect day for the truth. Jessica walked slowly toward Ava's bed. Every pair of eyes in the room followed her. Ryan's face turned pale. "Jessica!" She ignored him. Instead, she placed the first photograph on Ava's blanket. Then another. Then another. Ryan and Jessica kissing. Ryan asleep in Jessica's apartment. Ryan holding a birthday cake while Jessica laughed. The dates were written underneath every picture, including the night before. Ava stared at them without blinking. Jessica smiled. "Your husband told me he was working late." She looked down at the newborn. "But apparently he was celebrating my birthday." Ryan stepped forward. "Enough." Jessica laughed. "You've lied long enough." Ava slowly lifted her eyes. They landed on Ryan. "Tell me they're fake." Ryan opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Jessica reached into the envelope again. This time she pulled out her phone. She pressed play. Ryan's voice filled the room. "I'll leave my wife, just give me a little more time." The room fell silent. Rachel covered her mouth. Ethan cursed under his breath. Helen closed her eyes. Ava looked at Ryan one last time. Then something unexpected happened. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She simply removed her wedding ring. She held it out. "Take it." Ryan's hands shook. "Ava." "I said take it." He slowly accepted it. He slowly accepted it. She looked at the nurse. "Please ask everyone except my baby, Rachel and Helen, to leave." Ryan took one desperate step. "Please let me explain." Ava's voice was calm. "I don't want an explanation. I want peace." "Ava," she looked directly into his eyes. "The man I married would have never left me alone during labor. The man standing in front of me is a stranger." Ryan felt his chest tighten. "Ava," I said leave. Dr. Lewis stepped forward. "Mr. Thompson, your wife needs to rest." Ryan stood frozen. Ethan grabbed his arm. "Come on." Ryan resisted. "No." Ethan's voice hardened. "Don't make today worse." Ryan finally looked at his son. The little boy yawned peacefully. He reached out instinctively. Ava gently turned the baby away. "Not today." Those two words hurt more than every slap, every insult, every accusation. Ryan walked out. Jessica smiled proudly and followed him. The moment they reached the hallway, Ryan spun around. "You've destroyed everything." Jessica folded her arms. "No. I exposed everything." Ryan pointed toward the delivery room. She had just given birth. Jessica shrugged. "And you spent last night with me." Ryan stared at her in disbelief. "I hate you." Jessica smiled sadly. "No. You hate yourself." She turned and walked away. 3 days later, Ryan drove home hoping Ava and the baby had already been discharged. He rehearsed apology after apology. Maybe she'd listen. Maybe she wouldn't. But he had to try. As he turned onto his street, he slammed on the brakes. A sold sign stood proudly in front of the mansion. Moving trucks filled the driveway. Furniture was being carried outside. Ryan jumped from the car. "What is this?" The real estate agent looked up. "You must be Mr. Thompson." "This is my house." It was. The sale was completed this morning. Ryan pushed past everyone. The living room echoed. Empty. The dining room. Empty. The nursery. Empty. No crib. No toys. No baby clothes. Only one envelope remained. He tore it open. Ryan, when you chose another woman, you made your decision. This house was never our marriage. It was only a building. Our son deserves a home filled with honesty, not luxury. By the time you read this, we're gone. Don't waste your energy looking for us. Spend it becoming the father you failed to be on the day your son was born. Maybe one day he'll be proud to call you dad. But today, you haven't earned that title. Goodbye. Ava. Ryan collapsed onto the nursery floor. For the first time in his life, he cried without trying to hide it. Weeks passed. Jessica expected Ryan to move in with her. Instead, he blocked her number. He sold his sports car, resigned as CEO, started therapy, attended parenting classes. Every week he sent diapers, formula, and money through Daniel. Never gifts for Ava, only things for his son. He never attached letters, never begged, never demanded. Months later, Daniel called Ava. He'd like to see his son. Ava looked at Margaret, Rachel, Helen, then down at her sleeping baby. Finally, she nodded. 1 hour. Ryan arrived carrying a tiny stuffed elephant, the same one Ava had wanted for the nursery. He stood awkwardly in Margaret's living room. Their son looked at him with curious eyes. Ryan smiled nervously. "Hi, buddy." The little boy reached for the elephant. Ryan handed it over. The child hugged it tightly. For a moment, everyone smiled. Ryan looked at Ava. "I don't deserve this." She nodded. "No, but he deserves a father." Ryan's eyes filled. "I'll spend the rest of my life proving I can be one." Nearly a year later, the custody hearing finally arrived. Ryan stood before the judge. "I betrayed my wife. I abandoned her during labor. I failed my son. I have no excuse." The courtroom was silent. Even Charles lowered his head. The judge awarded primary custody to Ava. Ryan received generous visitation. Outside the courthouse, reporters rushed forward. "Mrs. Thompson, will you ever take him back?" Ava looked at Ryan, then answered quietly, "I've forgiven him." The reporters waited. "But forgiveness doesn't erase consequences." Ryan nodded. "I understand." For the first time, he truly did. Their son's first birthday was held in Margaret's backyard. Rachel was hanging balloons. Ethan was chasing the birthday boy around the grass. Helen laughed harder than anyone. Ryan arrived carrying a small wrapped gift. Nothing expensive, just a handmade photo album. Inside were pictures from every visit he had shared with his son. The final page was blank. Under it he had written, "For all the memories I still hope to earn." Ava closed the album. She looked at him. "Thank you." Ryan smiled. "No, thank you, for not letting my mistakes steal his happiness." The little boy ran toward Ryan. "Dada?" Ryan knelt and caught him in his arms. Tears filled his eyes. Not because he had won, but because he had been given the chance to become the father his son deserved. He looked across the yard. Ava was smiling, not as his wife, but as the mother of his child. Some loves survive, some don't, but every choice leaves a consequence. Ryan lost the woman he loved the day he chose another. The greatest punishment wasn't losing his mansion. It wasn't losing his company. It wasn't losing his reputation. It was realizing that the family he had always taken for granted became priceless only after it was gone. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments. Do you think Ava made the right decision? Or would you have given Ryan a second chance? Thank you for watching.